right. Hello, Tech Divas and allies out there. Welcome back to Tech Diva Success, where we share success tips to help you get 1% better every day. And I'm very excited to be with Kimberly Whitaker today. She has been someone I met through a group at Cisco. We're working there together where we kind of got into a mentoring circle. We'll talk about that in just a second, but she's going to be sharing some of her wisdom. She earned her background and her degree is in electrical engineering on a full athletic scholarship where she was immersed into the concepts of a team. So she translated a lot of her team sports concepts into, I'm sure, what she does today. And as an engineer and engineering leader for 18 years at Cisco, she worked with some of the best teams and team leaders in high tech, period. She has been there and has done it. So it's a real joy for us. She achieved the highest level of the Cisco certification, which is the CCIE, whoop, whoop, while creating and inspiring incredibly high-performing teams that consistently achieved their stretch goals. So after her 1-year soul-batical, I love she was telling me about that it was not a sabbatical, a soul-batical from Cisco in 2019, she really decided to pursue her passion of encouraging and inspiring women in high tech. She's now the CEO of her own company called the Executive Coaching Advantage, which specializes in enhancing the careers and lives of women engineers and engineering leaders with a focus on her clients and their standout roles, on your potential. And she helps women create a walk in life that is achieving their highest dreams and aspirations. So it's such a joy to have you on today. Hi, Kimberly.
Hey, Nicole. Thank you so much.
So again, we met through kind of a mentoring circle that we did in lean in style, right, Kimberly? It was based on the book of getting circles of women together to explore leveling up.
Yes, and I feel so blessed to have been in that circle with you, although I think somehow, some way, our paths would have crossed regardless of that circle.
Yeah, I think it's a real testament to why we talk so much about networking. You meet someone here in your career, and then as you go along, you find out that you're called to work with them again. And so Kimberly has been an amazing sounding board, partner in crime with me on trying to develop content for women in tech to spark their success. And we're both operating kind of at different levels as I'm kind of doing this crowd good for all. And she's really got a gift, a true gift that I have been so fortunate to gain in our relationship and benefit from myself in coaching and in her experience just really helping me grow. It's helped me and it's been easy things to apply. So it's great to have you on today to kind of talk about that with our audience.
All right. Well, thank you again, Nicole. And you mentioned my degree in electrical engineering, and it really takes me back. It takes me back to my time in my life when I was 18 and I went to college, and I was sitting in my very first electrical engineering class, and I looked around the room and I just started counting people, and I realized there were 29 guys there and I was the only woman in the room. And I kind of took me aback, and I remember my dad was always a huge supporter of me, and he was also an engineer. And I called him and I was quite upset, Dad, I'm the only girl in the room. And I'm sure I probably said that being 18 years old. I don't think I said I'm the only woman in the room. And his response was just so cavalier that to this day but I know it was exactly what I needed to hear. And it was who cares? And what he was really saying to me, and he always said this to me, is you can do anything. And so that was my experience of, getting my degree in electrical engineering, and has certainly been my experience in my 18 years at Cisco. In fact, that oftentimes we as women tech divas, we will find ourselves as the only person in the room. And it doesn't mean that we don't want to continue to close the gender gap. And we are all working in various different ways, either through our STEM initiatives or Girls Who Code and all the great work, Nicole, that you're doing. And I'm so happy to be involved with, changing the world literally one tech diva at a time. So what I would like to share with everyone today, I would really just like to have you think about something that even in that moment, sitting there in that classroom, like I could have quit. I could have literally run home, or I could have said, well, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to be the only woman in this room. I had to ask myself, and that is, what what do I love doing? What is important to me? And as a coach now, we have a lot of tools. I know, Nicole, you're familiar with a lot of the things with regard to standout roles. Certainly at Cisco, that's a big thing. And also Strengths Finders 2.0. And there's so many different types of tools. But Nicole, one thing I'd like to do, if you're up for this, is I'd like to give you an example of some things that I've been working on in terms of my neuro coaching. I've been studying neuroscience now and some different things. And I'd like to just do a real-time coaching example with you. I have a little bell here. It's actually on my computer. It's not the
That's
real
very
thing.
zen. I'm down. I'm here for it,
And
Kimberly.
so I'm going to kind of give you a preview here of what I'd like to do. So my thinking on this is what we're going to try to do here within about the next 3 to 4 to 5 minutes is we're going to get ourselves in a relaxed, mindful, aware state. So whatever, kind of feels good for all of our listeners. If you can do that as well, if you're in a safe place, feel free if you want. You don't have to, but if you want, feel free to close your eyes. Maybe you want to make just a stretch, just something to get yourself in a relaxed state. And I'm going to ask you, Nicole, to tell me your deepest value, except I want you to listen to the bell. And when you can no longer hear the bell, tell me your deepest inner value.
Okay. I think it's love. I think my innermost value is love.
Excellent. Now, give me an example. I know it's easy for you. You're surrounded by love and your family, but tell me, what is an example for you of what does love mean?
I think it comes out in empathy. I think it comes out in authenticity. And I think it just means seeing things with the most positive care for everyone involved. Just life is so short. And so I think love is coming across as a leader, coming across as a friend, as a mother, with the attention to loving, my message coming across with loving, my intentions coming across with loving, whether it's designing a customer environment, but that's through love of the customer. And I think love can really be something that differentiates you, but it improves the human experience because we're all interconnected by love. That's really cheesy.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. So, for all you awesome tech divas out there, the point I think we have just illustrated is that while you can take the Strengths Finders 2.0, and that's a wonderful thing to do, or you can, most of you already understand what the standout roles mean, just about how do you show up. We have some of that going on in our corporations. But if you simply would take even 20 to 30 seconds to simply ask your own intuition, what is my deepest, innermost value? You'll hear it loud and clear, just like Nicole did. And you will have more than one value at a particular point in time, but you're going to have some values that are going to come up for you. So in terms of my kind of my tip, or my big success tip for you, I take myself back to that very first classroom in electrical engineering, and I'm sitting there And no, I didn't have this particular example of asking myself this, but it was true for me even back then. And I knew what was more important to me than the demographics of that room was that I was going to learn something I was interested in and that it was meaningful to me. And today, when I do this exercise, learning and meaning are the two things that come as my deepest inner values. And that has just played out over and over and over again in my life. Learning, always learning something new, has shown up in so many different ways. So my big success tip is really all about asking yourself and then do more of that. So what I would encourage you to do is, once you know what your deepest inner value is, how can you shine? How can you show up in that standout role? So for me, in my 18 years at Cisco, it was being a pioneer and a teacher. And so I just loved learning new things, and I would learn new things. And then I started getting opportunities to speak to audiences, to speak to even large groups of customers at events. And I just kept showing up because I knew that learning new things, and my why was so that I could share them with my clients, with my teammates, with my customers, with my friends and family, and anyone that would gain value from something that I could potentially add to their life. So, the learning that I had achieved is that I could share it with them. And that's my kind of big tip is really, it's all about understand how you're showing up and how you can do more of that for your success.
Well, that's really important. And as you expanded on it, I also came up with teaching and serving. So I think it also blends into when we talk about branding and how you take these and move them forward into a full circle of what you bring to the table. And I love that. And that's what we do here on the show, is we try to bring these nuggets. I love your exercise. So hope that everyone listening out there did it yourself, or you can hit the replay button and listen to the bell and see what comes to your mind. And is there any other words of advice for women out there? I mean, you've given me tons of nuggets of wisdom. Is there anything else besides finding your passion that you wanted to leave our audience with?
Well, Nicole, I would also just let anyone and everyone know who might happen to be listening that after my 18 years at Cisco, I have now transitioned, as Nicole did in introduction, as she stated, into doing executive coaching. And all of you are executives, by the way. I'm specializing in engineers and engineering leaders. And my whole vision is to encourage and inspire you into your significance, which is that wonderful intersection of your purpose, your passion, and your performance, because you already know how to be great. And I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. We'll put my LinkedIn in the show notes. And just to either drop by and say hello, or if there's anything that I could do for you, would love to connect with you.
Great. And I just have to highly recommend working with Kimberly. She's amazing. She'll tap into you and make it about you and give you that custom touch that you need to level up. And we're doing that in many different ways on the show. So we appreciate you. We're going to include all the notes in the show notes on how to connect with her. And I'm sure you'll be seeing her bring in some more of her wisdom in the future with Tech Diva Success. And thank you so much for that. It was a great exercise, and just even journaling on those ideas. And letting it sink in. It's really, really cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole. It's just a pleasure to work with you. And I just love the work that you're doing, and always love supporting your work.
Great. Right back at you. Can't wait to see how we can encourage more women through your new venture, and as always on the show. So come back and give us some more of your tips as you continue to go deeper. We'll welcome you back on the show in the future. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on great nuggets like this. Thanks again.